to Lifestyle Buzz Today with Orlando. Fresh, innovative, entertaining talk about topics we are all in one way or another involved with. And now here's your host, Orlando Burgos.
Hello, fellow Earthlings. Hope everybody's adjusting well to another year. And I was actually going to say, starting off with the same situation as before. But you know what? We need to stop that. We need to stop thinking about what's been happening for the last 2 years. It's time to put it away. It's time. It's going to be here for a while. So we cannot let it continue to take over our lives. And you know, every single chit-chat is about COVID and all that. We know it's here. I know it's here. I, for one, I feel totally energized, and I recommend to my people that they do the same. Michael, how are you?
I'm doing very well, and how about them Cowboys?
Hey, yippee, ya, yo, man. That's all I got to say. Oh, man, I think we're going to make it all the way this time.
You think?
Oh, yeah. They are inspired, you know. I've never seen a team. They've had ups and downs. I mean, like the loss to the Cardinals was, you know, silly, whatnot. And you could tell that they were just not in the zone in that game.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, they go a week later and they score over 50 points. What was it, 56, 52, something like that?
Against their divisional rivals, the Eagles.
Yeah. So they're inspired, and that's actually one of the things that I look at is that they have several players that I guess they have COVID. They're battling the COVID and the whole thing. But I understand they're making a ton of money. Each player makes a lot of money. But it has nothing to do with that. It has to do with the power to overcome. And I think that everybody has that opportunity here, or anywhere in the world. You know, like all we have to do is start thinking a little bit more positive. You know, it's like we're going to be talking about this a little bit later on. But some people have asked me because they found out that I got my booster shot, and I was asked, "Do you know what's in there?" You know, so people try to be scientific all of a sudden, you know. And I actually read, and somebody posted something very smart in Facebook, and I'm going to copy it later on. You know, we're going to be talking about that. You cannot really run away from living and run into like something that we don't understand, you know. So anyway, we have lost a couple of great people. Betty White, I forgot to mention it last week. And Sidney, what a gentleman he was. I tell you, I had the opportunity to fly with him once. Never said very much, but it was always his gestures. You know, he was always like, you know, like it spoke a lot, you know. Let's take a little bit of a break, and when we come back, Kristina Wheeless from Fernweh Travel. All right? We'll be right back.
You've heard me talk about MyPillow, and now Mike has done it again by introducing his new slippers. I love these. He's taken over 2 years to develop them. They're designed to wear indoor, outdoor, all day long. They're made with MyPillow foam and impact gel to help prevent fatigue. They're made with quality leather suede. Now, for a limited time, Mike's offering them 50% off on his new MyPillow slippers. 50% off. The My Slippers are so comfortable. You'll want to get some for the whole family. I wear mine. I look like a movie actor, like Robert Davi or Fred Dreyer on a movie set. set. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio listener square, and use the promo code HORN. You'll also get deep discounts on all MyPillow products, including the Giza Dream bed sheets, the MyPillow mattress topper, the MyPillow towel sets, or you can call 800-889-6959 and use the promo code HORN. That's 800-889-6959. Use the promo code HORN, or go to MyPillow.com and use the promo code HORN.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
Well, welcome back to Lifestyle Buzz with your pal Orly, and here at the great house of CRN, best station in the world. And speaking of in the house, Kristina Wheeless is in the house. Welcome, Kristina.
Hi, Orlando.
How are you? How's it going?
Doing well, and yourself?
Well, can't complain. You know, it's today is all about positive thinking. You know. Tell us a little bit about Fernwet Travel and where it's located, and if you're affiliated with another company like a host agency.
Perfect. Yes, Fernwet Travel is Fernwet is a German word. It means a homesickness for faraway places. I named the company that because my grandfather, who was instrumental in helping me learn about the world, is of Dutch and German ancestry, so named it in a tribute to him. And we're based in North Carolina in the U.S., and so we are a global agency. We have clients from all over the world, and yeah, it's pretty much it. There's 6 of us on the team. I'm the owner, and then I have 5 people that work with me.
Okay, yeah, we're going to be talking about that in a little bit. With the COVID in the past, well, let's round it off to 2 years, because some people get a little picky about it's got to be 18 months, 19 months. I say 2 years. Tell us what it has been like for you as a travel agency owner.
Well, when everything is said and done, we lost about 53% of our company as far as revenue. And we were working with a lot of corporate companies, corporate travel, and unfortunately, with the state of the world and the way things are, a lot of global companies have made executive decisions not to travel and to do events and corporate meetings and such. So we have seen a little bit of increase in that. We also sell leisure travel, so that's been what's kind of kept us afloat. Okay. And thankfully, we have great clients, and so obviously it has been slow. And so during this time, I personally came back to what's most important to me, almost like back to my roots and kind of how I got into all of this. And sometimes when you lose your way, it's because you lost your why. And so I kind of reevaluated, why am I doing this? Why do I want this company to be successful? And I came back to what my core values are as a person and what they are as a company, and just kind of did a little bit of maybe some restructuring to focus on those core values, and those core values being curiosity, connection, and compassion. And so I was able to reevaluate and look at the suppliers they've been working with, look at the clients we had been working with, and just kind of make sure that everything that we're doing from this moment forward is aligning with those core values. Okay. And so that's kind of where we've been at. Still believe in travel, still believe that it's, something that I want to keep doing. It's just been a little bit slow. So there have been a lot of bookings for 2022, but with the new variant, everything's kind of still in limbo, and just kind of waiting to see what happens with that.
There's you know what? This is something that I've been talking to a lot of people. As you know, being in radio, we have a reach with a lot of people that need that comfort level of information, So we being that we are more or less a travel company, a fun company. Lifestyle Buzz is all about the good times. We don't get into politics. We don't get into religions. We don't get into any of that. It's just travel, food and wine, healthy living, and so on and so forth. One of the things that I have come to the conclusion is that destinations are not doing enough to reach the consumer. I think they're relying too much on the travel agencies to develop market share. Am I in the realm of reality there?
So I think that is a little bit of a double-edged sword. So obviously, I feel like I might be a little bit more biased being a travel agency, and personally, I have great relationships with my tourism boards, and I've had the privilege of, when I am working with them, I'm able to source the things that I need and the suppliers that I need just because of their know-how and things like that. Mm-hmm. And I think that there are some destinations that are marketing maybe the consumer a little bit more than the agency. And so it really just depends. Like, for instance, Puerto Rico has some commercials now that are like, come visit Puerto Rico, and they're on, mainstream TV. And so they're for the consumer to see and say, hey, like, right, let's go here. So I think that they're starting to do both. The only thing that ends up happening with that is sometimes when consumers are marketed directly, they feel like they don't need a travel agency, right, or a travel advisor to help them plan their travel. And in this particular, with COVID, some of the rules and things are a little bit more tricky to navigate, and right, you can find yourself being stuck. And when the pandemic happened, there were plenty of people I knew that had booked their trips direct, and they got stuck in other countries, mm-hmm, and no one to help them. And when they went to call travel advisors that they had known or things like that, it was kind of like, hey, I'm desperate, can you help me? And it was in those travel advisors, interest to help them, but at the same time, it was kind of like they were doing it out of the goodness of their heart to help them versus, hey, you booked with me, like, you're in good hands.
Yeah. That has been a problem for a long, long time with the advent of internet and stuff like that. A lot of people feel that they can do a lot of stuff on their own. And when they're in trouble thousands of miles away, they start calling every agent that has a toll-free number and whatnot. So I've seen it a lot. I'm in the wholesale side of the business. And so people know that I have contacts in all the destinations, and they go there and they go, oh, we know such and such. And they expect to get help because they know my name, but they don't buy from me. They try to do it themselves, and that creates a problem. So anyway, are we ready for a little break? Okay, we're going to take a little bit of a break, and when we come back, we'll continue with Kristina. Stand by. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Fred Dwyer talking about my favorite Italian restaurant, Angelo's and Vinci's, at 550 North Harbor Boulevard in downtown Fullerton. It's a fantastic place to celebrate the holidays. Come inside and dine in our Italian town square, complete with our 10-foot Christmas tree. Enjoy our food made from secret family recipes, pasta, chicken, seafood, salads, and our incredible pizza, and our incredible desserts, including my favorite, the tiramisu, flown in from Italy. Angelo's and Vinci's is the perfect spot for your holiday dinner or party. Get your shopping done for everyone by purchasing holiday gift certificates. Feel the spirit at Angelo's and Vinci's, 550 North Harbor Boulevard in Fullerton. Call 714-879-4022 or visit angelosandvincis.com.
Attention real estate investors. Do you need cash immediately? If you own one or multiple rental properties, you can use your equity to get cash out fast. The best part is we don't need tax returns or even a good credit score. At America's Loan Source, we are not a bank and we don't have bank rules. We make the decisions to loan you money, and there's no limit how much we can give you. Some clients have gotten as much as $500,000 or more within days. Use the money any way you want. If you own one rental property or 100 and COVID has left you in a cash crunch, we can help you turn your equity into fast cash. Call now for details and close in as little as 10 days and get the cash you need. 800-353-1760. 800-353-1760. 800-353-1760. That's 800-353-1760.
Think of the many sacrifices it took to establish and to preserve liberty in the United States. Think of the many generations that went before us, that spilled blood to preserve that liberty, our freedoms. And look at how long it took, not very long, for us to lose many of those liberties. One flu season, together with lockdowns galore, and so many of those liberties just slipping away. In the United States today, we see an American government that is weakening abroad, even as it oppresses its people at home. We discuss this and so much more on our program, The Trumpet Daily. We're live weekday mornings at 11 a.m. Central Time in the United States. You can listen at CRN Digital Radio, Channel 3, or watch the live video stream at our website, thetrumpet.com.
All right, we are back with Lifestyle Buzz and Kristina Wheeless. I wanted to ask you, I don't know if you heard or read about this. At the last USTOA reunion they had, or bash they had in San Diego in December, they announced that 30% of what I considered an already fairly depleted group of people, 30% of travel advisors had left the field. Have you read about that?
I've not read about that in particular, but being in the industry and knowing people who have left or have closed their doors, I have seen it happen because, you know, most of the people that I've known that have done that were older, so they were close to retirement or, you know, they were ready to leave kind of. They were like, all right, well, or not necessarily ready to leave, but looking at the situation, they were like, we can either keep our company afloat or we can retire and just go out and do new things. Some people did have to shut down because they lost everything and they had livelihood, or I mean, they have families they have to support or bills that have to be paid, and there weren't enough, you know, programs to help people get what they needed. So there were, I know ASTA did some things to try and help make sure that people got PPP loans or SBA loans and things like that, but they they did have, I mean, it was hard for some people to get those things and to get the help that they needed.
I mean, speaking candidly, it is very, very, very difficult to even consider taking a loan to maintain your agency if the consumer is nowhere to be found that wants to go travel. I mean, number one, the world was pretty much restricted, so it made it very difficult. And I mean, people are still very much scared, I think. Do you feel that?
I feel like yes, I think there's a group of people that are, still very scared. I think it's more of that there's so much information out there. Like you said, we live with the internet. We have those people that will book on their own because their information is accessible. There's so much information in the world that we live in today that it's hard to differentiate between what's actually factual and what isn't.
Right.
So it creates a level of uncertainty, which maybe would cause a little bit of fear in some cases, because people want to know, like, hey, if I'm going to spend this money to go on this trip, like, am I going to actually be able to take it? Or if I get there, is something going to happen to me and I'm not going to be able to get home? So there's a lot of uncertainty because there's not a lot of like, it's constantly changing, the information, the regulations, the restrictions. So it's this constant like roller coaster in a sense where you don't know where you're going to be, at next. And so some people have just decided that, hey, maybe it's better to wait this out and just kind of see. Other people are like, hey, I'm not going to let this, affect me, and I'm just going to roll with it. But that requires a level of flexibility, and it requires like really kind of knowing and staying up to date with the information as it constantly changes. And for some people, it's just too much. And that's why I would advocate for, like, if people are going to travel, to have an advisor, because, you have someone that's constantly, this is their livelihood. They're constantly looking at it, and they're constantly seeing the changes. They're getting the notifications, and that kind of gives the consumer who's traveling a sense of ease, because, hey, they know that they don't have to be the one that's so worried about it. So it's a super interesting predicament. It's a crazy, like, it's been wild to watch everything happen.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, I do think that if you want to travel, you can, and it just depends on what destinations are available to you. And as I say that, I realize there are some areas that cannot, because they're still in lockdown and things like that. But there are ways for some people to still be able to travel. But really, travel has kind of become a privilege in a sense. And I mean, it always was, but like even more so now than ever.
Yeah. No, it's. I think one of the main situations that we need to really get into is try to bring a sense of reality to what is happening, and the fact that we have to learn to live with this situation of COVID and not let it actually change our ways too much. So with that in mind, let's take a little bit of a break. When we come back, more Kristina. Stand by.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet. So make a free call to Page Publishing. Their expert staff can help you turn your book idea into a real book, a masterpiece that could someday make the bestseller list in hard copy and digitally all across the world. Page Publishing can help you completely take your idea for a book, write it, and publish it. So if you want to join the ranks of some of the most famous authors in the world, call now for a free information kit. Turn your book idea into publishing gold. Make a free call right now to Page Publishing.
800-378-3212. 800-378-3212. 800-378-3212. That's 800-378-3212.
CRN listeners, when you come to Southern California, stop by a great restaurant, the Dresden Restaurant at 1760 North Vermont Avenue in Hollywood. Enjoy great entertainment, like the music of the legendary Marty and Elaine at the world-famous Dresden Restaurant. The Dresden was a location for the making of the movie Swingers. Now you can swing with stars Marty and Elaine. Plus, enjoy great food, too, like French onion soup, artichoke hearts, and many other great appetizers. Seafood, there's salmon, shrimp scampi, New Zealand orange roughy, halibut, Lake Superior whitefish, and specialties like veal, marsala, piccata, and parmigiana. Plus, we've got a great roast rack of lamb, chicken piccata, and cordon bleu, and pasta dishes, too. Steaks, filet, New York, Chateaubriand for two. Much more, too, including pork chops, prime rib of beef, and an incredibly extra large cut of prime rib. It's the Dresden Restaurant, open for lunch Monday through Saturday and dinner Monday through Sunday. Check us out at 1760 North Vermont Avenue or call 323-665-4294.
Do you want to fly somewhere, anywhere in the world? Smart travelers call myflightsearch.com for the best deals on flight tickets. Going to Manila, Bangkok, London, how about Singapore? Call myflightsearch.com for the lowest flight tickets available. What about a local vacation? Let's say you want to fly to Vegas, Orlando, Miami, Los Angeles, or Denver. Pick up the phone and call myflightsearch.com right now. We have exclusive deals that you can't find anywhere else. The only way you can get these low airline prices is by calling us. We have so many low prices available, we can't possibly tell them to you right here and now. If you're flying somewhere anytime in the next 6 months and you want the lowest airline ticket prices anywhere, you owe it to yourself to save a ton of money. So pick up your cell phone and call myflightsearch.com right now.
Call 800-445-3166. 800-445-3166. That's 800-445-3166. Call now. 800-445-3166.
Do you remember Herbert W. Armstrong? Do you remember his magazine, The Plain Truth? His television program, The World Tomorrow? The one and only possible message of world peace?
Tomorrow. Now we're living in the most serious, the most momentous times of the history of this world.
Those who heard Herbert W. Armstrong speak remember the depth of thought, the clarity of expression, and the power of his message. He spoke for God. God warned this world through Herbert W. Armstrong, and he gave hope to this dying world through Herbert Armstrong. What happened to that ministry? What happened to that message? We discuss this and so much more on our program, The Trumpet Daily. We're live weekday mornings at 11 a.m. Central Time in the United States. You can listen at CRN Digital Radio, Channel 3, or watch the live video stream at our website, thetrumpet.com.
All right, we are back. Kristina, I have a question that I've been dying to get, a really good answer for. I have been in the business now for over 45 years, and I've seen small agencies that grow into more numbers. They add square footage, they add more agents, the whole thing, and they struggle, and they do good. Yet there's also the ones that are part of a huge conglomerate with thousands of agencies that only have, they can call themselves by different names, but they are still the same voice, the same concept, Mm-hmm. You are a smaller agency. Do you feel that you get hurt by the big ones?
No, actually, I don't.
Okay.
The reason why is because my approach, or maybe my mindset, is that travel is still a $1 trillion industry. It's still an industry that is, and I'm not. I want to make sure I understand your question. Are you talking about like consortia, as far as on the agency side, or are you talking about OTAs like Expedia and things like that?
I've always had my doubts about OTAs. I don't think that they deliver what they promise, but Anyway, no, I'm thinking more like right now there's a big conglomerate called Global.
Mm-hmm.
They've taken over, well, I don't like to mention names, but bigger chains. They are comprised of bigger chains.
Okay.
Those are the ones that I figured that, are they doing fair for the consumer? Because they're taking away the feeling of choice, in my opinion.
Are you like referencing like large companies like hotel chains buying up other hotel chains, and then, or is it strictly on the advisor side, like travel agencies buying other agencies?
Yeah, that I'm more involved from the travel agency standpoint.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. I got you. So you're talking about agencies consolidating, like absorbing other agencies,
right,
and becoming like a larger consortia type deal. Is that what you're referencing?
Yeah. That's my question.
Okay. Yeah. I think that, in my opinion, when I started out, I started with a host agency. So I was able to get my training and kind of do that, because a lot of those agencies, they have pretty much state-of-the-art training if you actually do it. A lot of people, the problem in the industry is that there's not a lot of regulation, and pretty much anybody can become a travel advisor like overnight.
Right.
And so what happens is you get people that are kind of like half in it and not totally invested, and they start out because they want to travel for themselves, and they're kind of like, okay. But the people that do succeed, are lifelong learners, in my opinion. So they're always wanting to get better and to learn and to really be taken seriously. And so, some people will start out with a host agency, and the reason why, and maybe I'm proving your point here, is that if you're someone who just starts out in the industry and you have no experience or no training or no sales to back up, to show that you're actually selling stuff, and you go to a supplier and you say, hey, I want to start selling your product, they're going to be like, well, you've never sold it, and why should I invest in you?
Yeah, who are you?
So, yeah, and that's why it's so appealing for people to go with a host agency, because they can use basically the buying power of that host agency to have a higher commission rate versus, starting at the bottom and working their way up. So what a lot of people will do is they'll go with the host agency first, get their sales up, and then go out on their own and show the suppliers that they work with, that they enjoy working with, hey, these are my sales. Can you honor this when I go on my own? Yeah. And so people will do that. And honestly, I think it's kind of smart the way the system is. Unfortunately, I wish we could all just start out and be like, hey, like, I'm this small company, like, can you give me a chance, or at least like a trial period? And I would like to see more of that, but it's just that it's hard for people to know like who to invest in and who not to invest in. And the industry is very relational. So you tend to work with people that you like working with, or people that line up with what your value system is. But I found that being a small business and working, like the kind of travel that I sell personally, I'm able to work with smaller companies and smaller hotel chains and smaller. Right. So for me, I feel like it doesn't affect me as much as it might affect other people, because I like working with smaller companies. Yeah. And that's part of my core value, compassion, because I want to make sure that I'm actually the business that I'm doing in the countries that I'm working with, or the places that I'm actually investing in the local infrastructure. Right. So I prefer to work that way. So
yeah, you're maintaining the personal touch.
Correct. And
at home and abroad. Yeah.
Correct. And I'm also like the people I work with, I call them friends. Like I can call them up and ask them, how their families are, what they're doing. Like they're my friends, and I have a relationship with them, and I'm able to send them business and help make sure that they stay employed and that their community is better because my clients went there because I went there, or because they exist, and that's kind of so in the sense of like, you know, larger hotel chains and things like that. I don't have anything against them as long, you know, I want to make sure that my values align with them if I'm going to work with them. And I think there are several large companies that actually are able to maintain good values. It's just you have to kind of do your research and know who you're working with and ask questions.
All right. Well, we're ready for another little break, and then when we come back, I'm going to give you more time to close up, and so stand by. We'll be right back.
These are the sounds of Colombo's Italian Steakhouse and Jazz Club.
Look at this ribeye. Did you see that ribeye?
Fantastic. Incredible.
This is delicious.
Sausage and lentil soup, special today. Very, very good.
Look at this garlic bread. Best garlic bread I ever had.
And here's Vic Perino, owner and operator of Colombo's.
A lot of the Italian recipes are my uncle's own recipes. We have a lot of people coming back for his hand-rolled lasagna. We make it basically from scratch. I think ours is exceptional.
Here's Vic on what makes Colombo's different than any other Italian restaurant.
The other thing that sets us apart from other Italian restaurants is that we're an Italian steakhouse. We specialize in our steaks.
Plus, there's more.
We have entertainment 7 nights a week. So they're coming for a lot of reasons to value. Their value per dollar that they're getting, plus coming into a neighborhood-friendly place. You know, sometimes we're actually accused of being the melting pot of Eagle Rock.
Colombo's in Eagle Rock on Colorado Boulevard, 323-254-9138. Manja.
The smartest way for you to get the lowest prices on your plane tickets, domestic or international, is to call SmartFares first or last, but you've got to call us before you book your plane tickets. Fly anywhere in the world, fly anywhere in the U.S., and SmartFares can save you up to 75% on your plane tickets. We have the lowest airline ticket prices on over 500 airlines, and you've got a great 12-hour free cancellation window. Plus, with our live agent help, you can always get fast help and fast answers. So on your next trip, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, how about right now? Pick up your phone and call SmartFares, plus save up to 75% on your plane reservation. So call right now. 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644.
All right, we are back. Kristina, I want to ask you, you are now part of ASTA in a, professional way? You're the president of, what is it called? Young Agents?
YPS, the Young Professional Society. So anyone under 45, I will be their president.
The big leader. This is directly under ASTA, right?
Yes. So obviously Zane Kirby is the president of ASTA.
Right.
And then this is just a section of ASTA to help more young leaders or young professionals in travel to be involved in, to get people more involved in the advocacy, our legislation, our laws, how do they affect the travel advisor, and really just for them to feel more supported, because most of the people for years in the travel in a travel advisor position have been an older generation, and that's amazing because there's so much to learn from that. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of younger people that are entering, and we want to make sure that the older generation in travel is passing the mantle to the younger generation, and that they're going to be able to succeed in this business, but also to create a community and to feel involved and to kind of pass let them pass down their legacy to the other advisors, but also to work together. And I was elected. It seems to be a 4-year term. I hope that I will bring my skills to the table and just to help people feel supported and not alone, because I know when I entered the industry, I was rather young, and which wasn't a problem for me because I've always gotten along with older people. I love them. And so I feel like an old soul, sometimes people would say, like in a younger body. But I love that. But I was one of the younger people when I entered, and so it was super interesting coming from that, and now to watch the industry grow and and see like young professionals leave corporate jobs and or travel, things like that. Just want them to feel supported.
I have always been one that has advocated for a more formal type of agent. I would love to see a licensed agent, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because I think it builds up the credibility of the industry. A lot of people feel that with the internet available 24 hours a day, they don't really need the guidance until, like we talked about, until they get into trouble.
Sure.
But by the same token, there is really nothing that says, in my opinion, there's nothing that says security with the travel agents, travel advisors, or, change the name. So I think that licensing would bring a level that people will recognize that they are professionals, that they are responsible people, and I think that would increase the exposure of the travel advisors as a important role, in what we do as far as travel. Is that something that you would actually push for ASTA to get behind?
Yes. So actually, ASTA has, that's a great point, and you're absolutely right. And there are several people I know in the industry right now that are pushing for those same things. I know someone that created something called the Travel Allies Society, and the point of that society, the point of it is to help the leaders in travel lead, but there's no, like you said, there's no there's not a lot of formal training out there, but the purpose behind that is to gather leaders to help there be more of a formal training. Now, ASTA does have their verified program. Obviously, there's the Travel Institute, there's CLIA. There are programs out there that are paid to in a sense, credentials. Obviously, there's also states that require a license, like California and Florida, that you have to have a seller of travel license in order to sell travel in their states. But yeah, it would be good to have something more formal and more, consistent across the board to do that. And I think ASTA is trying to do that with their verified travel advisor program.
Okay.
And so, yeah, it does seem like there is a push for that. And yes, we would definitely, as far as the Young Leader Professional Society, we've talked about how to do that, how to create leaders, how to create mentorship within the industry so that people actually do get the right kind of training.
Good. Kristina, it has been a real pleasure having you here. Let's do it again.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, we have your information in front of us, and
what's your website, Kristina?
It's just fernwaytravelco.com.
Sounds good. Thank you for being with us, keeping us company. You're a smart cookie. Love talking to you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Have a great day. Bye-bye. We'll be right back.
Have you heard about Vine to Bar chocolate? It's the winemaker's chocolate, the world's first chocolate made with well-vined Chardonnay marc from the beautiful coastal vineyards of North America. Gently pressed grapes are harvested after juicing, dried and finely milled and carefully blended into the finest dark chocolate. The Chardonnay marc contains highly beneficial grape nutrients, flavanols, and has a natural sweetness that flavors the luscious dark chocolate. Mouth-watering, flavorful, delectable dark chocolate goodness with Chardonnay sweetness and beneficial nutrients. And it's alcohol-free, too. It's Vine to Bar chocolate. Order some today at vinetobar.com. That's VINETOBAR.com. Cold shipped to your door, it's Vine to Bar. Vine to Bar chocolate. Visit us at vinetobar.com.
Keep listening for a free offer from U.S. Med. If you're living with diabetes and using insulin, you know the pain of sticking your fingers over and over again. By simply wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can reduce the pain of sticking your fingers right away. If you're testing your blood sugar daily and administering insulin 3 or more times per day, or using an insulin pump, call today and learn about the latest CGM technology. We'll send you a free ebook telling you all you need to know about CGMs. A CGM can immediately reduce pain. It's accurate, easy to use, and helps you make better diabetes treatment decisions. Your new CGM may be covered by Medicare or private insurance. Call now to learn more. 800-524-9313. 800-524-9313. That's 800-524-9313.
Hi, this is Fred Dwyer talking about my favorite Italian restaurant, Angelo's and Vinci's, at 550 North Harbor Boulevard in downtown Fullerton. It's a fantastic place to celebrate the holidays. Come inside and dine in our Italian town square, complete with our 10-foot Christmas tree. Enjoy our food made from secret family recipes, pasta, chicken, seafood, salads, and our incredible pizza, and our incredible desserts, including my favorite, the tiramisu, flown in from Italy. Angelo's and Vinci's is the perfect spot for your holiday dinner or party. Get your shopping done for everyone by purchasing holiday gift certificates. Feel the spirit at Angelo's and Vinci's, 550 North Harbor Boulevard in Fullerton. Call 714-879-4022 or visit angelosandvincis.com.
Back, and I have to tell you, man, what a great interview with Kristina Wheeless, and I love listening to her because she's so precise and she's really knowledgeable, don't you think?
Absolutely, fantastic guest.
Yeah, she's really great. So anyway, at the opening, I made the comment that someone kind of gave me a little ration of doo-doo because you tell everybody that, I got vaccinated, I took the booster, So a lot of people saying, I don't know where they get this information, but have you ever heard that they're supposed to be injecting all kinds of weird things in you and all of that? People believe just about anything as long as it's anti-logic.
Don't even get me started, Orlando. Don't get me started.
I don't get it. I really don't get it. And somebody very smart put a little blurb on Facebook, and I found it so really interesting that I modified some of it. But I eat KFC all the time, and I still don't know the secret 11 herbs. So
what about a hot dog?
Hot dog.
I love hot dogs, but I mean, I don't know what's in those.
You don't,
don't want to know either.
I mean, there's I love to eat head cheese. And if people realize that what is in there, I mean, people won't eat it. I mean, it's just, but I have actually given somebody like a sandwich with head cheese, and they go, this is really great. Until they find out that there's tongue and whatever, So people just love the idea. I don't know if it's like they want to feel superior by being so scientific, but yet they don't understand what's going on.
It's the Dunning-Kruger effect. It's a type of cognitive bias where people with little expertise or ability assume that they have superior expertise or ability. This overestimation occurs as a result of the fact that they don't have enough knowledge to know that they don't have enough knowledge.
Yeah. You know what? It is kind of strange. Think about it. Part of what I read there was the fact that, you buy shampoo and you don't know what's in the shampoo. You don't know what's in the toothpaste. You don't know what's in the soap that you use. All you know is that deodorants keep you from underarm stink, and you're happy with that. So, you know what? I think people need to chill. People need to relax. Enjoy life for what it is. It's a beautiful planet, a bunch of beautiful people of every kind, and we need to learn to enjoy them for what they are.
And most people are inherently good. Most people, don't have nefarious motives, and most people want to help other people. And so, when you see people saying it might be wise to get vaccinated and get boosted, they're not doing it out of any malicious thing. They want everybody to live.
You know what? It like I said, I got vaccinated and I did it because I'm used to being vaccinated, and I don't see anything that is negative about it. I mean, like my arm hurt for a day or so, and then it was over, and that's it. But it's the same with the flu shot. You feel sometimes wheezy a little bit. That's it. For more information, please go to our website, www.lifestylebuzz.today. And I recommend also that you visit our website at the station here, www.crntalk.com, and learn who we are and what we do. And we're all pals. So with that in mind, I guess it's almost time to go. Last words, Michael?
Go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys. Yeah, I got to get my hat, got to get my mindset, and go buy a cow. All right. See you next week. Bye-bye.